Welcome to the Real Board Loft. I'm Trip Forman, and today we have with us WSL World Longboard Champion Justin Quintal from Black Rose, and we're going to be talking about the Black Rose Dark Horse model of longboard. So Justin, tell us a little bit about this board.
So this is just, a nose rider. It's a full-on nose rider. It's got a really parallel outline, as you can see. The rail line doesn't draw in, too drastically from the nose or the tail. It's pretty straight. The nose is pretty full, pretty wide. The tail is pretty full and pretty wide. This thing is just about as user-friendly of a nose rider as you're gonna find.
Right.
So for someone that's trying to learn how to longboard, is a really entry-level longboarder and is looking to learn how to cross-step and nose ride and learn the fundamentals, this is a great board for someone like that.
So what are you gonna feel, we talked about the fine swine, right? And so the Dark Horse, obviously different design, like kind of more wide point in the middle, a little bit more parallel. Like, what's the surfer going to feel between these two boards? Like, what are they going to feel in the Dark Horse?
Yeah, the Dark Horse is just going to be a really cruisy, easy to ride board. It's there's not going to be anything that feels too weird one way or the other.
Okay.
It's just going to be a really straightforward longboard. It's easy to turn because of that wide point being in the middle. It is a little wide, so you can catch a rail if you're in a steeper section at times.
Okay.
But for the most part, for smaller, glassy days, it's going to be a really fun
So
longboard.
I'm noticing this board to be a little bit thicker on the rail. Is it like designed to be a little bit thicker, or is this just like a one-off and this one might be thicker than another one?
I think this is just a pretty, I think it's a 10-0 maybe, so it came out a hair thicker, just, the longer we go. No, actually it's a 9.6. But no, the fine swine's definitely a little bit more refined. This is a hair thicker and more full just because you're more than likely going to ride it in smaller surf where the fine swine is going to be for more critical waves. So especially if it's a little bit mushy at all, this thing is just like super easy to nose ride through just about any section, and it just goes really well. It covers a lot of water really easily, and I just tell people, as far as longboard, it's just really user friendly. And I rode this for a lot of years when I was younger, around 18. And I was doing a lot of contests along the East Coast, and there's a lot of small days where we really had to make it work, and this thing just worked really well in conditions that weren't necessarily perfect or great conditions.
So what would you recommend for a fin on a Dark Horse?
Any kind of a bigger pivot fin is going to work good in it. Probably something 9.75 to 10 inches. You could even go 10.25 or 10.5. Depending on the length of the board. Anything 9.6 and under, probably 10 inch and under fin. Okay. If you're going all the way to 10.0, 10.25 or 10.5 inch fin, isn't going to be too big.
So something like the Tyler Warren pivot.
Right, that would work. The one with Captain Finco, that's a 10.75 inch fin. I have a fin with Rainbow. It's just a big pivot fin. Heritage makes a nice pivot fin. Right. True Aim's also has some pivot fins. Okay. So, the pivot fins, one of the most popular longboard fins you're going to find, and you can find one just about anywhere. But that's what's going to work in a board like this. Okay, awesome. Well, and the turns you're going to be a little bit more pivoty because of that also. Right, okay. It's the Dark Horse from Black Rose. Justin, thanks for joining us. Yep, if you have any questions about the Dark Horse, or if you want to place an order, you can always call us at the shop, 252-987-6000, or look us up online, realwatersports.com/surfing. Thanks for tuning in.